What's up, YouTube? What's up, YouTube? Uh, I figured I had a little time today to get loaded, and I give y'all an update about RTI. Uh, yes, I'm still at RTI, and basically, I'm still at RTI because it's not a bad company. I mean, they treat me pretty good. I don't really socialize with or talk to anyone, especially but my dispatcher. But my dispatcher, she's been pretty good, and we've been getting along okay. And we have our ups and downs, and every day is not butterflies. So, but yes, I'm still at RTI. Like I said before, RTI isn't for everyone. A lot of you guys, that has expectations on making $15 to $2,000 a week. I mean, it's a pretty good expectation, but it's not something that you're gonna get at RTI every week. I mean, you could actually get close to that, and it's real possible. But the way RTI is set up, it's just not for somebody who expecting $2,000 a week. So it's not for everybody, but it is a good company. It's a pretty good company. I mean, they treat you pretty good. They try to get things done when you need it. Just like any other company, you're gonna have your a holes and things of that nature. You're not gonna be able to get along with everybody. It just all depends. You just got to match yourself up with somebody with the same character that you have, or something close to it, someone you can get along with, a dispatcher that you can pretty much get along with. Um, so, with that being said, my purpose of making this update video today, is basically to explain how RTI lease work, the variable compared to the fixed. I'm on variable, which basically that means my truck payment is depends on how many miles I run each week. And for me, it kind of work. It kind of works out. I mean, the downside of it, the more miles you run, the higher your truck payment will be. But the upside on it is if you go home for a week, you come back with basically no truck payment. Only thing you basically will have is the insurance. Look, things of that nature. Like I have a 2019 Volvo 860 VNL. Uh, so with all the extra stuff that comes after the truck payment, I'm normally in the hole about 200, 215 bucks, give or take, somewhere in there, I think, when I go home for a week, compared to me being, if I was on fixed, I would probably be about 800, 800, close to 900 bucks in the hole once I got off of home time if I was on a fixed. So at the end of the day, it really, even though I'm paying more, a little more a week, depending on how many miles I run a week on my truck payment, it pretty much works out for me because like I said, I stay out for a month and I go home for a week. So when I do go home, I'm not, once I come off of home time, I'm not struggling on trying to get out the hole 800, 900 bucks compared to 200 bucks. So it pretty much works out for me. Uh, Another downside to being on variable is, like I say, the more miles you run, the higher your truck payment is. So let's say, for instance, if I run 3,000 miles one week, my truck payment will be up there. It'll be $200-300 more than what it would be if it was on fixed. So that's extra money that could have been on my check if I was on fixed, but it's going toward my truck payment. Excuse me for a minute. But it's going toward my truck payment, so I don't see that on my check. Now, if I was on fixed, I would see that extra 200 or 300 on my check. So me taking home $1,400 to $1,500 a week, uh, it would be a lot more easier if I was on fixed. But like I say, every week I'm not running 3,000 miles. So it's really not. Some weeks I get 3,000, $3,200, $3,200, 3,200 miles, and I look at my check and I see all this extra money going toward my truck payment, and I'm saying to myself, well, wow, man, that could have been $200-300 more to my check. But in a sense, like I say, when I take home a week, I mean, that's where it all pays off right there, because like I say, I'm not stressed trying to get $800-900 trying to dig myself out of a hole. And I still have even though that 200 or 300 extra dollars is not on my check, I still have a pretty decent check for 3,200 miles. I mean, it's not bad, but like I say, when you look at all this extra money you're paying toward that truck when you run a lot of miles, it'll kind of hit you. But you got to think about what's more beneficial to you. You know what I mean? So is it going home comfortably for a whole week and coming back out, not having to have to dig yourself out the hole, or is that little extra money that you're putting towards your truck that it's not like that every week? Because like I say, if you don't average but 2,500 miles that week, you're not really putting a lot of money toward that truck. So but 3,000, 3,200 miles do come at this comp. You do get that kind of miles, and if you're on fixed, you have a pretty good check. That $1,500 a week that you're looking for, you could get that easier on fixed. It's not as easy as it is. It's not easy to get that on variable. So if I run 2,500 miles on variable, which I'm on, I can easily average $1,000 to $1,100, and some change, between $1,000 and $1,150 a week at about 2,500 miles a week. That's after fuel, that's after all my expenses and everything. And to some people, you say, okay, 11,000 to 1150 a week, that's nothing. No, it's decent. Like I say, it all depends on what your home expenses are and what you need per week. But it's not bad. It's not the best, but it's not all that bad either. Now, if I was on fixed, I could easily bring $1,300 to $1,500 home a week if I was on fixed. But I have to run between 2,800 miles. I could touch that. I could touch that $1,500 a week, running at about 25 to 2,800 miles on fixed, because all that extra money that I'm making is not going on the check. The truck is actually going on my check. So it got its benefits. It got its up and down. It's just what you prefer to have each week. If you're the type of guy that don't go home at all, I mean, fixed would be pretty good for you, because all that extra money is actually going toward on your check compared to on your truck. But if you come in and actually want to buy a truck and you plan on staying the whole lease, I mean, variable is pretty good because you putting all the extra money is going towards your truck, so you still keeping up monthly as far as the cost it costs you to run that truck, even when you take a week off. Because like I say, within them 3 weeks, you're gonna be able to put extra money into that truck by running variable. Especially when you're running 25 to 3,000 miles a week, all that extra money, couple dollars extra money each week is going toward that truck. It's going actually toward the truck. So it's putting you in a position to actually be able to maybe pay that truck off just a little bit early. I'm not saying it's going to be just tremendous early, but you could actually pay that truck off a little early. So RTI's lease it's not really a bad lease. It's not a bad lease. It's not a lease that makes you feel like they're getting over on you or it's a scam. Uh, it just don't make you feel like that. You don't look at your check each week and see a whole bunch of crazy deductions coming out, and you wondering what is this, what is that, what is this. I really haven't had no problems. When my check is short, it's normally because maybe me and my dispatcher maybe fell off on the same page, that week, and my miles is, it may have been a couple weeks. My miles haven't all been that good, and I'll be, then I talk to my dispatcher and we get back on track, and things start, working itself out. But every week, you know, I really, every week is not perfect here. But I could tell you within the last 10, going on 11 months that I've been here, uh, I never had a check under 800 bucks. Now it's $800, 8 or 7. I may have had a $700 check before, and it probably was due to because like I say, when I go home for a week and I run that week, they take that whatever I'm in the hole, they take a couple $100 out of that check, which that puts me down about 700-800 bucks. There for it's not really, I didn't been to companies to work and done lease purchases where I go on home time for not even a whole week, maybe 3-4 days, come back out, and I'm running 2 whole weeks just to get out the hole. I'm having negative checks. I'm having $200 or $300 checks. Just trying to dig myself out the hole. And I haven't been in that position here yet. Uh, uh, it has its slow weeks here. uh, but it's not a bad company. It's really not a bad company. Like I say, it may not be a company for everybody. Like I say, if you're just reaching for that $2,000 a week deal, especially in a lease. Uh, I done been to a few companies that that's really crappy, have crappy leases, and I didn't struggle, and I run hard and I still struggle. I mean, they guarantee you all this money, $2,000, $3,000 a week. They guarantee you all this money, and you really don't see that when you go to work for these companies, paying these higher percentages, and they advertise this $25 to $3,000 take home a week. You really don't see that. You don't see that at all. You really see, like I said, at the end of the day, you really still don't see but 1,200-1,300 bucks, and they run you out here like you just a robot, a computer. Don't want you to go home. You got to fuss with them about your home time. Uh, you can't really understand what the dispatchers is not even from the United States. Basically, they really don't even really know what goes on out here, and it's tough. I mean, it's tough. It's tough. It's really tough. I've really been to companies that's tough, that advertise more money, but you're really not making the money that they're advertising, and you run extra hard, running everywhere, running a lot of heavy loads. Uh, it's tough, man. I mean, it's tough. I done been through a few jobs because of that, and yes, would I like to bring home a lot more money? Yes, I would. But my mainly big purpose of being here at RTI is it's not really a stressful environment. From the people you talk um, to the trucks you drive, the equipment is good. Everything is pretty decent around there. It's to where you're not, even we out here in a stressful environment every day, dealing with all different types of things out here on the road. And then when you have to deal with all this different stressful type of things out here on the road, you call it a job that's supposed to be there for you, and everybody's uptight, everybody's having attitudes, you can't get nothing done. That makes it even worse. And I mean, here You don't get that often. Uh, you really don't get that often. Like I said, I've been with the same dispatcher since I've been here, and we had our ups and downs. But I try to stick with my dispatcher because we're learning each other. She pretty much got the idea how I like to run, and and what I expect. So we're not having many fallouts as we had when I first started. And it was times that yeah, I want to switch dispatchers, but I'm just not going to do it at this point in time because it's going to basically be the same thing with the next dispatcher, with the next dispatcher. Uh, my whole idea is you got to get to know the person, try to get on the same page, and if that dispatcher is willing to work with you, you work with that dispatcher, and you could pretty much iron out the differences that you have, and you can make your job a little bit easier, just a little bit easier. I mean, because no matter what you do, it's going to be stressful out here because you're dealing with a lot of things and a lot of dispatchers. They've never been in a truck in their life. They have no idea what we go through out here every day, what we have to deal with every day. It's tough out here. And so you got to try to get on that same level. Put your dispatcher on the level. Get that dispatcher to understand. If you're a family person, if you got to go home, if it's areas you like to run, areas you don't like to run. Everything's not gonna go your way. You're gonna have to sometimes bite the bullet and do certain things that you're really not comfortable with. So you got to keep an open mind with that. All that plays into working with your dispatcher. So it's a learning process, but it's a pretty good company. It's not a company that's gonna get you rich. Uh, like I say, I'm still here. Uh, you know, I have my ups and downs. I've been thinking. It's been days I've been pissed off. It's been days to where everything that just went smooth. But all around trucking, like I say, I like trucking. I don't love it. I've been in the trucking industry over going on 12 years now. Uh, I pretty much got burnt out my first 4 or 5 years from just dealing with just different companies that treat you bad, uh, just stress you out. I just got burnt out. I mean, so I kind of lost my love for trucking, but I still like it. I really don't see myself doing no factory or nothing like that. But trucking is just not. I want to find that love in trucking again, but it's kind of tough. Uh, but right now, my whole thing is just basically just trying to be comfortable, trying to keep as much less stress off me as possible, because I'm not a young cat no more. You know, so my whole idea is basically paying my bills, getting home to my family, spending time, having some kind of life outside of this truck. I'm not trying to make the inside of this truck and these roads out here my life, because that is what kills truckers out here. This costs. This has destroyed. This truck driving has destroyed families, lives, uh, everything, and don't nobody benefit from it but the big company. Because once something happened to you and you can't drive no more, they just replace you. They got different people coming in for every day. So you got to find your comfort in this. You got to find something that you can't just come out here always just. You got to make money, but you just can't come out here trying to chase money, chase money, chase money. Because if you have any kind of life, you're gonna lose it. Trying to find the money that you're looking for out here, trying to find a company that you want, you're gonna lose it. Because in reality, the only way to make the money that some of you drivers want, it calls for you basically to live in that truck 24/7. Deal with all kinds of bullcrap 24/7. No life, no social life. everything you know is basically about truck. That's the mentality you got to have to take to actually get that money that you're looking for. Or, and that's even if you own your own truck, your own authority, your own, if you got bills, if you got different things you like in life, I mean, it's gonna cost you, you know. So my advice to a lot of drivers, especially the new drivers, you know, keep your home expenses down, because think about it, $1,000 a week, you can live a pretty decent life with $1,000 a week. I mean, you could have a pretty decent home. You can have a pretty decent car. You you could do those things with $1,000 a week. I mean, especially if you run in a month and taking off a week. I mean, that's $4,000 a month, maybe more. Depends on how you run. I mean, it could average out to more. You know, 15. You could take $2,000 of that and pay all your bills, and you got $2,000 to yourself. I mean, so what is it? I see a lot of guys chasing $2,000 a week, but I want $2,000. I'm making $2 or $3,000 a week. Then when I see their homes and I see the things they're doing, I'm like, man, if I was making that much a week, bro, I'd be living in a better this, a bigger this, and my lifestyle is pretty decent. I drive pretty nice cars. I got a nice home. I take care of my kids. I work. My wife works. So, and we do okay. So you can make pretty good money. You can make a pretty good living. So without just driving yourself crazy out here, giving your life to a company that really don't care a crap about you, because, like I said, once you get sick, get hurt, or family, I mean, they don't give a crap about you. Point blank, I don't care what company it is. They honestly, once you out of that truck, trust me, man, they got somebody else to replace you. And now you stressed out, sick, hurt, can't work no more, and it's over for you. The next person got that seat. What you gonna do then? I mean, because it's tough out here. Even on the good days, it's still tough out here. This is a dangerous job. So, I mean, you gotta pick wisely what you do. You go to job to job to job to job, and you realize it's all pretty much the same. Don't give up your life for this. Especially a lot of you new drivers coming in, you think it's fun. You travel the world. I could guarantee you within a couple of years, if you get out here and burn yourself out too soon, you'll get tired of it. And you realize you don't talk to nobody no more. You haven't seen, no signs of social life in years. You find yourself just trapped into this cocoon. This is all you know. It takes life out of you. You found out you lost your girlfriend, your wife, your kids don't really know you no more. They don't see. I mean, that takes a toll. Don't put yourself in that position. Find out something where you could make a little money and still have a life. Because those dispatchers go home every day. They used to go home on the weekends. They see their families. You don't. So, but you signed on to something to where you have to be out here, be away from your family. You signed on to that, but you didn't sign on to be held hostage. You didn't sign on for that. So, at the end of the day, it's all about finding no matter what company you go to, it's all about basically getting a relationship with your dispatcher, respecting your dispatcher, how your dispatcher respects you, and you can actually make a bad situation pretty decent. You can actually pull a little money out of a company, Just depending on how your attitude is, just the things you do. You got to stand on your 10 toes. You got to always keep your 10 toes down when it comes to your comfortability. Because, like I said, they go home every day with their families. You don't. So, with that being said, like I say, I'm still at RTI. Uh, Out of 10 stars, I give it a 7. I give RTI a 7. The lease purchase is pretty decent. The people there are pretty decent. The equipment is pretty decent. Uh, you can actually make a couple dollars here. You can actually make a pretty good living here if you're not expecting too much. But it's not bad. Like I say, I've been here 10 going on 11 months now, and I mean it's okay. I mean, it's okay. It need a few things worked out, but it's okay. I mean, it's okay. You know, I done had my stress days, but I done had less stress days than I had stressful. So, if I'm still here, it's going pretty decent. I haven't really found no other company that I feel like, I done seen other companies that called me offering more money, but it's like right now I'm just pretty much in my trying to be comfortable, as far as keeping my stress down. And those companies that's calling me about more money, I'm pretty much they expecting. I pretty much know what they plan is, and I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to deal with all that extra stuff that they want you to do just to make a couple dollars more. I just, me myself, I don't want to deal with it because safety first for me. My family is second because I put safety first. Because if something happens to me out here, I can't see my family at all. I'm not with my kids. I'm not with my wife. So for me, safety first. So with that being said, that's my update. Uh, like I say, if you're not looking for $2,000 a week, try give RTI a try. I mean, give it a try. I done had a couple people come on that didn't really last. I mean, they call me and they say, "Oh, the dispatchers." So I'm not really into. You could put me down if my information help you. You could put me down as a person who sent you. But I'm not really looking for that because I'm gonna kind of step out of that game because it's a couple people that came on that didn't really last, and I want to and both all complained to me about their dispatcher, and I try to explain to them the process and the procedure to go through if you're having problems getting the miles with your dispatcher. So, but some people don't have the patience to do that. They just pretty much jump ship. So it's really, like I say, it's all gonna be about what you put into it. Don't come here thinking, you may get lucky enough to be paired with the right dispatcher from the gate. And I promise you, if you do, things will work out. You'll get pretty good miles. If you get paired up with a dispatcher that's not on your page, I mean, talk to them. Try to get them on your page. Don't wait. Don't go 2-3 weeks with the dispatcher. Oh, I don't get along. I'm quitting. I mean, give it a little time. Give it a little time. I'm not telling you to stay there and deal with a bunch of crap after about 2 months of the same thing. After a while, you got to move forward to somebody else. But you gotta try to work yourself in, get the comfortability status before you jump ship. And I promise you, if you find that sweet spot at the company, and they are willing to put you in a sweet spot, but you got to be willing to be patient enough to get in that sweet spot to where you can make a little money, and it won't be so stressful for you out here. So I say give RTI a shot, and the odds of you liking it will be pretty good if you just that person who's willing to run a little bit, willing, just equal things out with home time and running, and finding you a pretty good dispatch. I think things will work out. The equipment, like I say, the equipment is good. Nice trucks, friendly environment. I mean, it's not a bad company. It's not a bad company at all. So give it a shot, and I'll give you an update. Like I say, I, my situation, I don't know what goes on with me every day. A month from after this video, I could be done with this. I don't know. It's like I say, I'm taking this on a month by month experience. And like I say, within this 10 and a half, almost 11 months, my experience it's been more high than low. So when you're dealing with trucking, I mean, anything's possible. So as for now, it's a pretty good company. I really, if I left today, I still would say it's been a pretty good company. But, if I leave, it'll probably be on different terms, me trying to do something different or whatever. I would like to stay here, complete this lease. Uh, my lease is, I got a brand new truck, so my lease is about 5 years. So, I'm almost 1 year down. So, I'm hoping my health and things for me could make it that long, But, you know, it just depends on how things go because I have other different things I would like to do, but as for right now, and like I say, if I left tomorrow, I still would say RTI was not a bad company. So give them a try, and you know things could go better for you than it is me here. So it's just like I say, it all depends on you and your needs. So until next time, peace.